During this course, we have looked at many different layouts, how to implement them, and how to optimize. Let's go through some case studies to see how you can apply this knowledge. In each example, I'm going to show you a screenshot and then show you how to implement it in various ways. When you see the screenshot, pause the video and think about how to implement this layout before continuing and seeing the solution. Here is our first example. We have a heart picture next to the word hello. How will you do this? Remember, I divided the 4 different types of layouts into 2 different categories, 1 dimension and 2 dimension. Here, we only need 1 dimension, namely the horizontal one, so we can use a linear layout to achieve the result. We take a horizontal linear layout, put an image view inside for the heart image, and then next to it, a text view for the string hello. But actually, we can optimize this layout a bit more. How? I'm going to introduce you to yet another tool, this time called Android Lint. Go to your Android Studio, click on Analyze, Inspect Code. We are going to run it on the current file, and here it says Android Lint with 2 items. The first item says Image without content description. This is because I took a shortcut in this demo and did not put in a description string for the image, which is important for accessibility. But the second one is the interesting one. It said, Note can be replaced by a text view with compound drawables. What does that mean? Here it said that a linear layout which contains an image view and a text view can be more efficiently handled as a compound drawable. In Android, text view actually comes with 4 drawables for free. So if you want a drawable next to a text, you don't actually need to put a linear layout and put an image view with the text view. Instead, just put a text view and use one of the drawable attributes. In our case, we are going to use drawable left. This is how it looks like. We have a text view at the root element with the text hello as before. But then we added the extra attribute drawable left pointing to the drawable heart. This way, we achieve exactly the same result with just a single view instead of a linear layout with 2 views inside. This is our next example. We are going to have a edit text and a button. The button takes as much space as it needs, and then the edit text takes the remaining of the width. Can you figure out how to implement this? Yes, we can use a linear layout with weight to achieve this result. This is going to be a horizontal linear layout. The edit text is going to take width 0 and height wrap content, but with a weight of 1 to indicate to Android that it wants to take the remaining width. The button will have the string hello and the width wrap content, height wrap content. Can you think of another way to implement this? I'll give you a hint. You can use relative layout. Alright, let's see the answer. With relative layout, we are going to specify the button first. Again, the width and the height are both going to be wrap content. We're going to align it to the right of the parent using the parameter layout_align parent right equal true. Now, the edit text is the interesting part. We are going to tell Android that we want the edit text to align to the parent left by using the parameter align parent left equal true. But we also tell Android that we want this edit text to be to the left of hello, the hello button. When Android tried to fulfill both constraints, it ended up stretching the edit text so that it would take up the remaining width. Now, why would we prefer using relative layout instead of a linear layout in this case? After all, both of them are going to take 2 measured passes. The relative layout is going to be useful if you have more views. For example, if we have another button below the hello button. If we use relative layout, we can directly tell Android that we want this button to be below the hello button and aligned to parent right. But if we use linear layout, we have to nest another layer so that we can take care of both horizontal and vertical dimensions. Here is the next example. It is the flag of a country. Do you know which country? It's Vietnam. How will you implement this flag? It has a red rectangle background and then a yellow star on top. Which layout would you use? Linear layout, relative layout, frame layout, or table layout? As we are putting things on top of each other, we can use frame layout to achieve the result. In this frame layout, we first put a view that takes up the whole parent width and parent height, and it has the background color red. On top of that, we put an image view with layout gravity center and then the yellow star so that it will be in the middle. But we actually have more views than necessary. The extra view here is the view, the one that has the background red. We can actually just fold it into the frame layout itself because that view takes the match parent for both width and height. So now we will have a frame layout with a red background and then an image view on top of it. Can you reduce it even further? Why would we even need a frame layout if it only has a single child? Can we just put the background tag into the image view itself? Let's try. Okay, that worked in the sense that we have the red background and we have a yellow star on top. But the yellow star is too big. Why does it do that? By default, Android will try to stretch your image to fill up the width and height without distorting the aspect ratio. If we don't want Android to do this scaling, we can specify the scale type to be center. With scale type center, the image is going to remain the size as given instead of being stretched up. I have one more example for you to exercise your brain. Another country flag. Do you know this one? It's Austria. So how are we going to implement this Austrian flag with 3 bands in it? Red, white, red. We can use a linear layout with weight. Here we have a vertical linear layout with 3 views inside, each of which taking a width of match parent, height of 0 dp, and weight of 1. The first one has background color red, the middle one has color white, and the third one has color red again. Notice the middle one. I am using Android color white. This is defined by the system, as opposed to the other one where I say color/Austria red, which I define myself in res/values/colors.xml. So now we have a linear layout with 3 views inside. Can we do better? If you look at it in a different way, this, instead of 3 bands, you can think of it as a single white band on top of a completely red background. But how are we going to specify that the white band will take 1/3 of the height? We can use this parameter called weight sum. We tell Android that the whole height is of a total weight of 3, and then our view, the white view, is going to take a weight of 1. With that, we will also need to specify gravity to be center, so that the white band is in the middle instead of at the top. There is actually another optimization we can do. Here, instead of using weight sum and weight, I directly specify the height. Because if you look at the parent, both the width and the height are specified in exact dimensions. So there is no need for Android to do 2 passes just to find out this height, which is always going to be 1/3 of 160 dp. In summary, I have described to you different rules of thumbs to decide which layout to use. I also showed you how to use Hierarchy Viewer to examine the structure of your layout and also measure its performance. I then show you 3 different tags to make your layouts more performant and more maintainable: the merge tag, the include tag, and the view stub tag. Finally, with the 4 case studies at the end, I show you even more techniques to implement different layouts in efficient ways.